Hey, I'm Teresa Matsura, and you're listening to Uncanny Japan. When you think about summer festivals in Japan, what comes to mind? You might imagine the month-long Gion Matsuri in Kyoto, with its elaborate floats in red and gold, giant wheels creaking as they're pulled through the downtown streets, flutes and bells and chanting, called kakegoi. Maybe you've seen photos of these Yamaboko Junko, some as high as 25 meters and decorated with a wall of paper lanterns that at night tower above the massive crowds, glowing majestically. Or there's the Nebuta Festival, way up in Aomori Prefecture. You've definitely seen pictures or videos of these amazing, again, enormous floats that carry colorful 3D depictions of fierce oni and twisting dragons battling legendary heroes. They're made from washi paper over wire frames and lit from within. What makes them even more unique is that they're pulled through the streets and spun around dramatically so that they can be viewed by everyone from all sides. Or it could be you're thinking of Awa Odori down in Shikoku, Tokushima, where hundreds upon hundreds of dancers turn out in the streets to do that silly yet utterly cool Awa Odori, or Fool's Dance. The music is upbeat and non-stop, changing slightly depending on the group doing their version of the dance. They crouch low, bend a little forward at the waist, and wave their hands or fans in the air. But it's the footwork that really makes this dance. Well, we won't be talking about any of those today. Think smaller. No, smaller than that. Think your local shrine grounds, just down the street. So what are these quaint summer festivals like in Japan? While I kind of guess they are similar all around the country, I'm sure each place has its own unique flavor and interesting differences. Today, though, I'm going to take you on a visit to the kind I've experienced, taken part in, and helped plan and run throughout the years. This is part 1, outfits and eats. Part 2 will be games and dancing, but next time. Would you like to explore the stranger, more obscure corners of Japanese culture? Dig a little deeper into superstitions, curious customs, and all those mysterious creatures that inhabit the land? If so, then this is the podcast for you. Uncanny Japan is where I, author Teresa Matsura, share all the fascinating tidbits I unearth while doing research for my writing. From the bizarre to the ghastly, and everything in between. I hope you enjoy the show. Hey, how are you? Big typhoon is afoot. So this episode might be a little late. As I'm recording this, Lon might be sweeping in, might have moved more south. So depending on various nature-related things, this could be right on time or not. If you hear banging, that's the typhoon's wind. So unless you hear my door being blown off, everything's just fine. Just a little noisy. Speaking of noisy, let's get to the festivities. I think it's pretty safe to say that you can find summer festivals or Natsu Matsuri in every single prefecture, in most, if not all, cities, all over Japan. Not just the big ones like I mentioned in the intro, but also small ones held by preschools, kindergartens, elementary schools, neighborhoods, and kodomokais. Kodomo means child, and kai is the suffix for association or organization. So a kodomokai is a children's association. What's a children's association? Neighborhoods here aren't quite as distinct as they are back where I come from. They're divided into districts called chonokai or jichikai, basically neighborhood associations, and I could do a whole episode on the ins and outs of these. But for today, just imagine that all the children in each of these chonaikais are asked to join their designated kodomokai. This is from an early age, like 4 or 5, and they continue to take part all the way up until they graduate 6th grade, when there's a big party and they're released, because life is about to get very busy with school, after-school studies, and club activities. Anyway, the kodomokai is pretty much run by the moms. We plan various events throughout the year to keep the young ones entertained and kind of all connected. Everyone knows everyone else, and it's kind of nice. Well, sometimes it's not nice, but that's more of a human problem there. Overall, it's lovely to watch the kids grow up together. Of course, Julian and I used to be members, and I was one of the planners for quite a few years. We did things like yearly Christmas parties or summer sports events, and a monthly birthday party to celebrate all the children in the group born in that month. And of course, the summer and fall festivals. If you ever do get an opportunity to live here, I encourage you, if you're brave, to participate in one of these kinds of groups. It won't be easy. There will be a lot of language and culture bumps in the road. You'll no doubt make mistakes. I know all that very well. But in the end, it's a great experience, and you might just make some good friends. If you don't have children, though, you can still attend your neighborhood festivals, be them in the summer or the fall, and that's fun too. So to start, you'll often hear summer matsuri called no ryosai, which translates as cool evening festival or summer night festival. Since the season is in the air, let me take you through my version of a no ryosai. Like the name implies, it all happens after the sun goes down and the day cools off a touch. But you usually want to arrive at dusk, that golden hour when the light is soft and orange and you can take the best photos, because that's what you're going to want to do. Take a lot of photos. Why? Because you just spent all afternoon getting gussied up for it, as did your friends. And you're going to want to get a zillion photos of you, them, other classmates who also look pretty dandy tonight. No, you don't have to dress up. You can wear shorts and a t-shirt, but it's much more fun when you do. Women and girls of all ages usually wear colorful, or more often pastel yukata. Think mint green, lavender, soft pink, sky blue. If you've never seen one, imagine a simple garment somewhat in the style of a kimono, but much more casual. It's not as long either. They're made from cotton and can be printed with images that remind you of summer. Things like dragonflies, morning glories, butterflies, peonies, and goldfish. It's always a good idea to carry a flat uchiwa fan that you can stick in the back of your obi if you don't want to hold it, but it's there for easy access. And also don't forget a small handheld drawstring purse called a kinchaku for your money, because there will be a lot of fun and delicious things to do and buy. Shoes can be simple geta, those high wooden open-toed shoes, or zori sandals that look like extremely fancy flip-flops. Your hair is done up. Various ornaments, clips, combs, and pins are all neatly in place. Extra points if these too are also summer-themed. Flowers with dangling strings of petals are nice. I think we can all agree that Japanese hair ornaments are the absolute best. For those who want to wear the male version, there are yukata in earthy tones, browns, blacks, dark blue, striped or checked, or some old-fashioned pattern. But you'll also see jinbei, which is a two-piece cotton outfit. While very little kids can wear jinbei in everything from super cute pinks, reds, oranges, the older you get, they tend to be more natural colors. Traditionally, for men and boys, these days, I think it's totally fine for them to be worn by anyone at all. I find them much more comfortable than a yukata, which I've never owned. Actually, there's a photo out there of me when I was at Clarion the week Cory Doctorow was teaching, and we both came down to the common area to write after dinner. We were also both wearing near-identical jinbei. We did that Spider-Man meme where you're pointing at each other for a second or two. Then we took a photo of us flashing peace signs. Anyway, great loungewear if you'd like, and those are called jinbei. Finally, for festival clothing, you might see some of the dads or older men, or even women too, who are participating in the festival wearing happy coats. Now, you've made it to the site of the festival. Lots of people are milling about. The local shrine is set back a ways, and the first thing you notice is in the middle of the open ground is a lit-up, elevated platform skirted in a red and white striped cloth. This is called a yagura. It's center stage, even though it's a little high and not very easy to see what's going on up there. What you do notice, though, is a very large taiko drum. There's a simple roof, but except for the supports at the four corners, it's open on all sides. So when the drummer starts playing, you'll be able to see him from wherever you are on the grounds. There's also a speaker up there and an amp playing some old-timey sounding obon music. What really adds to the atmosphere is that from the roof of the yagura are strung long lines, at least 4, of paper lanterns. Glowing and swinging in the breeze, they stretch from the corners of the roof of the platform, over everyone's head across the grounds, ending at the corners of the park. But it's not time for dancing yet. That starts about 8. So you make a beeline to the yatai that are set up all along the fences that surround the shrine area. Yatai are small mobile food stalls that can be found all over Japan. And they can be anything from a 2-wheeled wooden cart selling ramen that is pulled from place to place by its owner, to the near-permanent ones that line the streets of Fukuoka and are visited by people from all over Japan and all over the world because of their cool atmosphere and tasty foods. One thing's for sure, you'll almost always find rows of yatai along the perimeter of summer and autumn festivals, or lined up along the streets. Each yatai is simply constructed, square, boxy designs from which all manner of delicacy and street food is sold. Along the top is a thick, brightly colored banner that announces in bold kanji what's at that particular booth. Jagabata, butter roasted potatoes, or wataame, cotton candy in cute bags, or biru, beer. As you walk along, the vendors will be calling out their wares to further entice you. What makes yatai more fun than just their sweet and savory yummies is that the table or counter in front of each one not only displays the foods in some attractive fashion to make you want to buy them, like high pyramids of hot dogs on a stick, or rows of bananas, also on sticks, that have been dipped into chocolate or white chocolate dyed pink or light green and sprinkled with rainbow-colored sprinkles. But also, you'll find the people running the booth actually preparing the foods right in front of you, which is entertaining too. You'll find still warm, entire squid, again skewered, with their triangle tail, making them look like fat little rockets, displayed next to a grill where the cook is drenching them with Meading's sweetened soy sauce and turning them over and over, smoke billowing as the juices drip off and pop in the coals. Or, on a big flat iron grill, you can watch a sweaty man deftly maneuver 2 wide metal spatulas as he scrapes and turns a giant heap of yakisoba, fried noodles, tossing in chopped cabbage, pieces of pork, pickled ginger, and splashing in some sweet brown sauce that sizzles as he mixes and flips the quickly crispy noodles again. So go on now. You haven't eaten all day, and you have a kinchaku, or a pocket full of coins. Make your way through the crowds, or stand in line to buy whatever your heart desires. getting darker now, and the whole area is lit by the hundreds of swaying lanterns overhead. It might be a little hard to decide what to get first. The evening air smells so mouth-watering. There's the aroma of soy sauce braised corn roasting and the gingery scent of deep-fried chicken pieces. But there's also the cakey fragrance of taiyaki, fish-shaped cakes filled with red bean paste or vanilla custard cream or chocolate. And let's not forget the crepes, slathered with whipped cream, nuts, chopped strawberries and kiwi fruit, folded over and slid into a paper cone for your ease of eating. All of the festival foods are prepared to be easily eaten. Lots of stick foods, the frankfurters, yakitori chicken pieces, candied apples, corn dogs, called American dogs. Even salted iced cucumbers come on a stick. Or the food can be served in a small cup, or these neat little dishes made from shaved pieces of wood called funesara, or funezara, or boat dishes. They're shaped in such a way the sides curve up, making them look like little boats. They keep heat away from your hands better than plastic, although these days plastic is used too. So they're easy to carry around, the funesara in one hand, chopsticks in the other. So for an authentic experience, it's nice to have your takoyaki, octopus balls, or okonomiyaki, a savory cabbage, flour, and usually pieces of pork dish, both covered in sauce, mayonnaise, and katsuobushi, shaved smoked bonito flakes, served up on a funezara. Okay, it's dark now, and you're pretty full. You have your cup of kakigori, shaved ice or shave ice, which is not a snow cone like I grew up with. The ice all pebbly, and you have to crunch it with your teeth. Kakigori is also made right in front of you by taking a huge square of ice and spitting it, shaving off the most delicate of ice slivers. It's feather thin and melts quickly in your mouth. Ichigo miruku, strawberry sauce with a nice dousing of condensed milk, is the usual summer go-to. Although there is lemon and melon and blue Hawaiian too. Now you can go stand under the tree over there with your friends, taking in the sights, smells, and sounds. Finish your treat. It's time to play a couple games before the dancing and fireworks start, which we'll do next time. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, patrons, especially for supporting the show and keeping this all going. And those who might just want to become patrons. I have one of my stories called Sasa's Rouged Lips, Sasa's Reddened Cheeks, that I recorded and put up as a monthly bedtime story a while ago. And it begins with a young Oni girl who is going against her nature. She's getting dressed up in her yukata to meet her lover, who is not an Oni. There's forbidden love, there's fireworks, and there's an awesome fight scene. So that's up for all patrons if you'd like to give it a listen. Thank you again, and I will talk to you all again 2 weeks. Bye-bye. You've reached the end of the show, and I just want you to know how much we appreciate you listening and supporting us. Any subscribing, reviewing, and gushing to your friends, family, even random strangers really does help keep us going. If you have the means and you want to help a little more and get a little more, we are making extra content over on Patreon, all for only $5 a month. Or if you like to read horror, you might be interested in my Bram Stoker-nominated short story collection, The Carp-Faced Boy and Other Tales. 本当にありがとうございます. Thank you again, and I'll talk to you real soon.